Hello, MCN. Are you enjoying Denver? Good, sort of. My name is Ben Fast. I am a program lead at the Alberta Museums Association, and I am here to ask this question. What do you do when they don't have email? Over the past 2 years, I've worked first with the BC Museums Association and now with the Alberta Museums Association, providing member services and programs to 500 museums and over 1,000 museum professionals across Western Canada, as you see it there. BC and Alberta together are almost 1/5 the size of the US. Our museums are so far apart, in-person programming doesn't always work out. So recently we've started offering digital programs and resources to engage our members online. Last year I was an MCN scholar like these people in the middle, here to talk about the BCMA webinars, a great example of engaging members through digital programming. Well, actually only a great example if they can use computers, and it turns out not everyone can. The sad reality is individual digital literacy and organizational digital capacity can be limited in small and rural museums because of a lack of funding, training, equipment, or a perceived inability to take on technology. And yes, we have technophobes who do actually refuse to use email, but discounting small or rural museums for these stereotypes is damaging and unfair and causes not enough credit to be given to members engaging their audiences and inspiring their peers. For example, this is the Nishka Museum, located in an indigenous village an hour and a half from the nearest small town in northwestern BC. It tells the story of the Nishka people and holds one of the preeminent collections of Aboriginal Northwest Coast art. For the Nishka Museum, it is clear. Rural does not mean incapable. Their Voices of the Nishka Treaty exhibit features an interactive media experience about the Nishka Treaty told through audio interviews and photos on iPads. It was actually harder for the 2 full-time staff to source the stands for the iPads than it was the iPads themselves. And they only chose iPads because they couldn't find a distributor of projectors nearby. Side note, International Museum Tech Conference, they'd love to work with you. Though they may only get 7,000 visitors each year, the Nishka Museum has embraced digital literacy to take visitors deep into traditional Nishka stories, culture, and life. So what's stopping other museums from doing the same? 6 years ago, that man over there, Ed Rodley, he wrote that the capacity for museum professionals to increase their digital literacy is woefully inadequate. This year, the One by One project reports that there is still little evidence of in-house training around digital literacy. So what can our associations do? It's our role to encourage, facilitate, and lead our members to high, sustainable standards, even if we often face the same challenges. So maybe it's time for us to take a broader look at digital capacity. Meet my friend Dave, volunteer curator of the Holden Historical Society Museum in rural Alberta. He's retired, maybe not your stereotypical techie, but he just installed brand new LED lights. Sounds simple, right? But it's actually had a huge impact. You see, the Holden Museum, this one right here, is leading their region in adopting green, efficient, and artifact-safe technology, improving their exhibits, and giving their 100-year-old building far more flexibility. And that's with only 4 volunteers and no paid staff. Dave was featured in the AMA's new Taking Action on Climate Change video series, which you can download for your museums, by the way. He pushed for digital capacity, and he became my hero. He's talking about adding solar panels next. Like, how cool is this guy, right? Now, having members like Dave and the Holden Museum helps associations like mine prioritize digital literacy and capacity. I'm pushing for digital to be incorporated in all museum areas of work by incorporating it into the programs I run and the stories I share. Okay, so not everyone's gonna be like Ryan Dodge, but sometimes new light bulbs or interactive exhibits or even just learning the benefits of email and getting a good haircut can be a big step in the right direction. Now, you can be an example of small actions having big impacts. You can work with your local associations, you can incorporate tech training into your partnerships, and you can patiently bring your MCN ideas home to people that don't know what a dam is and who may not give one either. So while you're at MCN worrying about this, remember the small museums worrying about this. That's why I work for a museums association and why I'm excited to bring your ideas home to my members. Now, I do know how to use email, so shoot me a message and feel free to get in touch. Come see us later in the week. Thank you very much.